We are human. We are born, we struggle, we live, we experience joy, we celebrate, and in time we die. And throughout that spectrum of the human condition, all the places in between, those of us in healthcare bear witness. We're privileged to bear witness to something extraordinary. Every moment of transformation, every moment is an opportunity for reaffirmation of those essential qualities that we embody as humans. Yet we find ourselves in a system for which humanity isn't the principal goal. At times we find ourselves struggling with commoditization and large scale and delivery of things that in their substituent parts have nothing to do with humanity. So how do we get from the metrics and mechanics to the dignity of the human being before us? So I'll give you some ideas. First, it begins by remembering that what we do is ostensibly human. We engage people at a deep level. So we begin every day, always, with a deep and enforced sense of humility. I am humbled by this experience. And here I'll tell you one of the doctor's secrets. The patient is scared. I'm scared too. I don't like cancer. I don't like losing. I don't like sadness. I know what it's like to hear a mother wail when she's lost her child. I don't want to hear that again. I've delivered 8 babies. I've pronounced at least 30 times that number dead. I stopped counting at 1,000 transplants that I've been involved in, but I don't forget the faces of every person whose care I've been privileged to deliver. So we can think about commodities and services and substituent parts, but that's not the part of healthcare that stands out to me. What stands out is the humanity of the experience. So my advice to you, I've done this now for 23 years, embrace the humanity. Because when it comes to the reality of taking care of the person before me, the most important skill is to shut up, listen, be humble, be present, and then sign on in the totality of where that journey will take you. Our ability to affirm the humanity of the person before us is at the heart of what we talk about when we talk about diversity. Diversity isn't generic. This idea of generic diversity is almost an affront to the individual dignity of every person whom we are privileged to serve. And it doesn't matter where you do it, how you do it, what your industry is, what your avocation is, what your belief system is. If we find and listen to that inner spark, that thing that gives light to the person before us, and understand their values, their priorities, the needs of their family, and the circumstances with which they find themselves, and we embrace that, we find ourselves in truly transformative places in healthcare. That's not easy. Being human is tough. We should embrace the toughness. Being frail is part of our existence. We should embrace the fragility of those before us. Because the journey forward involves recognizing the humanity within us, honoring the humanity in those before us in its distinctiveness, in its richness, and its full breadth of experience. And to the extent that we do that, remember that, and strive each day to fulfill that, we end up in an ostensibly different and more empowering place for all of us.